This year's election producing record-setting early voting numbers here in Georgia. State and county election officials are now predicting it could set the stage for some of the fastest voting results in a presidential election ever, at least for our state. Nick Sturdivant live outside State Farm Arena for us this morning, the state's largest early voting location, with the very latest.
Good morning, Sheba. And the biggest difference this year is that hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of votes here in Georgia will be entered into a database before polls close on election night. And the reason for that is because of the large turnout when it comes to early voting this year. County election offices have started opening and processing absentee ballots, which means officials will be able to ask computers to tabulate votes moments after polls close on November 3rd, which also means we could see large-scale results very early on election night from Metro Atlanta's core counties, where absentee votes are already being tabulated and more than 700,000 people have already voted.
We've had overwhelming early vote. I mean, every hour we're in this election, we're setting new records. So I don't want to set the expectation we'll be done election night, but I'm pretty sure compared to many other states in the country, we will be done well ahead of them.
And Sheba, as of last night, according to the Secretary of State's office, between early in-person and absentee voting, more than 1.9 million ballots have been cast in Georgia so far.
That is astounding. About 7.5 million people registered to vote in Georgia. If you need help locating voting polls near you, check out our voter guide. And there you'll find everything you need to know about times and locations. Just go to 11alive.com/vote. The U.S. already hitting nearly 70% of its early voting total from 2016, with 30 million people casting their ballots. A new NBC poll showing Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden maintaining a 9-point lead, national lead over President Trump. This as the candidates prepare for tomorrow's second and final presidential debate. Tracy Potts has more now from Washington, D.C.
Long lines across America marking a surge in early voting with less than 2 weeks to go.
I know it wasn't interesting in the past, actually, but I think now it's very important to do so.
More than 30 million people have already voted, 2/3 of the early vote total from 2016. NBC tracks more Democrats than Republicans so far. Both candidates are honing in on Pennsylvania, where polls are deadlocked.
If we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing.
President Trump protesting a Supreme Court ruling allowing Pennsylvania ballots to be counted up to 3 days after the election. And he's chiding the state for not reopening sooner.
You guys aren't even open yet. What the hell is going on with your state?
President Obama campaigns in Philadelphia today for Joe Biden, who's behind closed doors preparing for tomorrow's debate. Topics include families, race, climate, national security, leadership, and COVID-19.
Make no mistake, we are in the second surge.
With much of the country overwhelmed with new cases, the candidates are hitting the airwaves.
Joe Biden nos permitiría arreglar los daños
and hitting the handful of states that could determine the outcome. As of today, financial disclosures show the Biden campaign has a huge cash advantage, almost 3 times as much on hand as President Trump, who has raised more than $1 billion since taking office. Tracy Potts, NBC News.